Thanks for staying with us. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk, and we are broadcasting from the Rack Shack Barbecue Studio here in Eagan, Minnesota. HittnerGroup.com, Hittner Group, all one word, HittnerGroup.com, or give us a call at 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000. That's the number you see on the signs all over the Twin Cities hanging in front of the houses there, 612-627-8000. So we have Darren Vigil in the studio here with HealthyExposure, HealthyExposure Inc., HealthyExposure.com. Darren, tell us what it is that your company does, how you got involved in it, how you started it, and
we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Darren Vigil. I'm an airline pilot who got very sick over 20 years ago, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong, doctor after doctor after doctor, and eventually we realized that my home and frankly my lifestyle, there are people genetically predisposed that just can't tolerate all the building materials and chemicals and all these things that pile up on us. We don't process them very well. And it's a growing number in society. So I was fortunate. I handed you a picture. There's me with Dr. William Ray. Hey,
you were telling me it's a before and after. I said before and after who? I couldn't even tell.
Right.
And that was you there.
That was me. That was me in 1998, I believe that was. And he was the first one recognized. He puts you in a controlled environment. The ugliest thing you ever did see, all tile floor and filters and homemade beds and water filters. And he takes you out of the normal things that we're exposed to.
Kind of a detox scenario.
For how long of a period of time?
Well, everyone's different, but he puts you there to see how you do. And in my case, I had been wasting away for 3 years. We couldn't figure out why I was so tired and sick, and everything. My body hurt, and I started feeling better.
After how long of a period of time?
Well, I was with him for about 6 months, and then
6 months.
6 months, and then follow-up visits, and but I just continued to get better and better and better.
So you stayed there for 6 months, or
I'd go for a month, leave for a couple of weeks, go for a month, leave for a couple of weeks.
Really?
And I worked in construction, so I could be a pilot one day.
Okay.
So I had been working in construction, and then when I get to Dallas, Texas, I'm looking at, wow, a lot of what he's talking about is a special type of construction. I call it environmental health construction.
Okay.
So immediately I started learning, reading volumes of books, going back to the skills I already had in construction and applying it to this concept. So the first Healthy Exposure home was my own.
Okay.
I didn't fly for a year and a half. I got back 7 years, no more sick calls, not a single sick call in 7 years as a pilot, going to hotels, flying. And that's when I started understanding the connection of our homes and our health.
So tell us about the construction that you say you built yourself a healthy home.
I converted my home.
Oh, you converted it. What did
what's
you
that
do?
mean? Yeah.
It was a big, beautiful home. I call it our captain's homes. We're going to be raising our family. In fact, my daughter Liz, who's filming us today, was born in front of the home. Just so you know, it's kind of neat. So you take
In front of the home, right on the street.
right in the ambulance in front of the home.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's funny.
Well, welcome.
Yes, and yes, you had the whole neighborhood cheering her on.
Oh,
In the middle
that's
of the
great.
night. It's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I tell people, take the bad things out, the things that emit and affect the building, living environment.
Like EMTs. And
Like the
some-
EMFs, you mean?
Well,
Yeah.
we do get into electrical fields, but taking the things that off gas, wall-to-wall carpet, vinyl floor, all the things that might affect the built environment on the inside. And in Tennessee, they don't have basements. In Minnesota, they do. So that brings on a whole host of other things that affect the built living environment of the home.
So do you have like all wood floors then, or all tile floors, or how we see it, or do you have just a different kind of carpet?
Yeah, so prefer natural fibers.
All right.
There are a few safer carpets out there for
Wool?
person. Absolutely, wool. Big fan of wool. I'd want it to be washed out because there are wool odors also that some people with allergies and asthma are sensitive to. But tile, prefer real nail-down wood floors, finished on-site.
Okay.
And then a careful selection of what you finish them with.
Sure.
And we use building science to solve problems, to identify problems in homes, and then we use building science to retrofit and fix the issues of the homes. And even in basements here, we develop what we call the Healthy Exposure super seal wall system that ties into the drain tile system, because we get water vapor and soil gases, and the soil gas everybody knows about is radon, but there's other soil gases. There's just the natural decay of organisms in the soil that produce what they call microbial volatile organic compounds.
Right.
So we put a ventilation system underneath the home. We include the walls, and we ventilate that through the roof, not to allow those things to be in the home in the first place.
Do you tie that right into your radon mitigation system then, or how do you tie it all together so it gets out, so it's not a huge cost deal?
Excellent question. Well, I will say some of what we do is a huge cost deal. Yeah, it is. When I walk in a home and there's water coming, or not even just, doesn't have to be running water, it can be water vapor causing mold to grow on the structure, the framing of the walls, the perimeter walls. But yes, great question. I prefer to call it a soil gas mitigation system because not only is radon one of the gases, so are all the others. So the fewer gases in your home basements have a low pressure and the lower levels, it actually sucks these gases into the home. And then there's a natural stack effect.
Right.
Where the upper levels of homes just keeps pulling these gases, so if you're in the upper floors, you are not going to have great air.
And it's one thing is that all these gases and the molds and all that stuff are in our natural environment outside, but it's not captivated in a house. It's like getting into a glass jar and screwing the lid on. You know, it's going to be a problem.
Right, you want to ventilate it out. The secret to pollution is dilution. It's also source control. If we can stop it from coming into the home, if it's an exterior source, yes, let's catch it before it comes in the home. And then, my gosh, we even produce volatile organic compounds off our bodies.
Sure.
So yeah, you still want to ventilate enough. And we believe in filtered fresh air, and where so many homeowners, especially allergy and asthma people, make mistakes, is the normal air exchangers don't have very good filters. It aggravates their circumstance. So we use high-grade filtration systems for our air exchange.
Well, that's what I was going to ask on air exchange, because most homes have an air exchange system that they're just running. Can you do that through that, or can you do it through your furnace by leaving your fan running to exchange the air, or have windows open so you get outside air to kind of...
Depends on who you're dealing with. Plus, if it's high humidity outside, you can actually ruin your home by having your windows open. The inside structures, the frame and all that will start absorbing this moisture, and if it's chronic, then you start developing these weird odors. I call it the dirty sock syndrome odor of older homes. That's why you can't get the odor out, because it's been years of humidity being absorbed. But yes, we anytime you bring in outside air, you want to filter it. I call it the poor man's air exchange, exactly what you're talking about. We'll put a MERV 16 filter on the cold air return. We'll put a 6-inch line that goes to the outside to bring in fresh air. And anytime your air handler is running, you're pulling air in from outside, but it's being filtered. And then it gets filtered again at your furnace filter. The problem in the summertime running the fan on continuous is air conditioner humidity. You know, not many people understand that. Not many people understand that a coil condensates, and if you had clothes on a clothesline outside and it's raining, will they ever dry? No. It's the same thing running your fan in the summertime when you're in cooling mode. The coil will never dry. It'll just continue to blow the moisture back into the home, which causes a host of other problems.
And that's why you get that cold, wet sometimes, you know, in the house where it's cool but it's clammy.
Right.
All the time, and you wonder why that is.
Yeah, in the industry, there are a lot of contractors that don't understand that. Of course, we're both consultants and contractors, and we apply building science and ventilation science to all of our projects.
So tell us a little bit about the evaluation process that you go through then. If I were to call you and say, can you come into my home and just give me an evaluation of what I would need to clean up my environment?
Right, we call that the Healthy Home Check. And with the Healthy Home Check, there's routine things that we check. And believe it or not, in about 60% of the homes out there, we're finding gas leaks, and we'll find them behind the gas company.
Really?
And it's levels that are so low that it blends in with the other odors of the home, which is called masking. So you're in this environment all the time, so you really don't notice it. But the wife might occasionally say, you know, I sometimes smell gas. The wife's probably right. And then so we're going to inspect all the gas lines that we have access to for gas leaks. We're going to be looking for moisture. We have all sorts of toys. We use infrared cameras and moisture readers that we check the surfaces, walls, around windows for moistures. We don't probe into the wall unless we need to go that level, and that's a whole nother level above the Healthy Exposure Home Check. We also generally check for total volatile organic compounds and formaldehyde levels. We just looked at a home the other day, and they are dealing with moderate levels of volatile organic compounds coming from the carpet and all the cabinets of the home, including formaldehyde.
Okay.
And their levels were...
Where's that coming from? Or
Uh,
we gotta- we
Carpet
probably
typically.
have to-
So do you do a continuous monitor then, as over a period of time, or you come in, you can instantly get readings?
So we have a handheld that we'll use, but we also will do an absorbent test if the customer chooses to pay for it. That's an additional charge, where
Yeah.
we actually use absorbent tubes, checking for VOCs, microbial VOCs, and formaldehyde, and then send that to the laboratory and get a report.
Cool. You can go to HealthyExposure.com, HealthyExposure.com, and connect 612-216-2453.
Absolutely, or check us out on Facebook under Healthy Exposure Construction and Healthy Exposure Living, 2 Facebook pages.
Excellent. Darren Vigil, thank you for coming in.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us.
You bet. This is Real Estate Shock Talk. We're going to head out. 612-627-8000.